Hey everybody, I'm Steve Owens with Dugout Bait and Tackle here in Byrdstown, Tennessee this week, getting ready for the season opener of the 2026 Tennessee Bass Nation Kayak Series season. We start out every year up here on Del Hollow, hosted by Byrdstown Pickett Chamber of Commerce. And this week for the next, actually 3 days rather, I'm getting to test out the new Native Watercraft hammer. And what that is it's a completely new kayak that they've come out with some innovative hull changes to increase speed and maneuverability. What you're going to get when you deal with Native Watercraft, it's American owned and operated facility in Fletcher, North Carolina. And I've been in the facility multiple times over the years, and just watching the men and women put their work into what you get, I'm going to realize as soon as you put your hands on one of these kayaks that you're getting great quality craftsmanship, everything made and assembled for the most part there in the facility in North Carolina. So over the next several days, I'm going to go over what I'm experiencing in this kayak in particular. Today, I just got out and got used to it, figured out where I wanted to put my feet, where I wanted to make some changes. We rigged this last Saturday, Tom Kazmierski and I, at Dugout Bait and Tackle, and we didn't go crazy on this one, although you're going to see 2 graphs and an electric motor. I put those on there so that whenever I decide I do want to use those things, I'll have them. And just face it, that's where we're at in kayaking. You know, we like to have the things on what we like to use. So we went with Garmin setups on this one in particular. As you know, I sell all the products. I sell Newport, Torqeedo. All of them make a great quality product, but we've got some new testing things we're going to be doing with all of these manufacturers as the product comes available. So for this in particular, we went the Garmin Force Current route, but what again I'm going to show you is what we chose to do at the shop on this particular kayak. I'm going to show you what comes with each and every Native kayak. As I mentioned, the quality, craftsmanship, everything just looks so clean the way they do it. So you've got these rigging plates where you can go in, add what you need, but this is your GPS mechanism to keep your spot on your fish finder as accurate as possible. We just put some basic rigging navigation lights on here. I do have the Guardian Angel stuff that I use, but sometimes you forget that, and so we decided to put lighting here in case you forget that at home. You can turn it on. Here you got your front hatch. Again, everything's great quality constructed. These are your locking latches here. Used to have the slide ins, but these are a little better, I think. So here's where we went with our battery. You want weight distribution the best that you can, but you don't want a lot of weight in the front of your kayak. You just don't. A lot of people think that makes speed and cuts waves and everything, but it just actually just helps you plow that water that much more. You want to go over that water, not plow through it. So we went with a small battery here. This battery will run both, have a Garmin that I use for traditional sonar and everything. And then I've got this Garmin here that I use for live scoping and everything. So wanted it to be as clean and lightweight as possible. Didn't want to go crazy with a lot of things. So what we did here, we chose to mount our box here. That's the brain, that's the GLS 10. So you can get in here. It's pretty clean in there the way we did everything. Everything's, you know, shrink wrapped, heat shrinked. And so we came out here where the drive is, and you still have plenty of room here. It looks a little junky or cluttered, I should say, but it's actually not. You're going to be able to take, it's hard to do here. I'm going to try, but I can take this drive as I've used it, and it's actually going to be able to just walk these pedals over, and it's going to go on the other side of these graphs and lay down perfectly flat. This is the biggest key to what Native's done is this X-Range drive. So as you see, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It'll bump these a little bit, but it's not going to be that big a deal. So see how easy that folds up and gets out of the way? So now if you're standing up fishing shallow in grass, that drive's out of the way. You've got an open cockpit. And I've got this seat slid pretty far forward. I'm almost 6'3", and where I have this, I can access these graphs pretty easily. And then I've still got plenty of room in the back for things. I'll loosen this up a little as I go. So there again, I mentioned we put 2 graphs on here, and we've got the Force Current Bluetooth wireless foot steering here. I'm going to end up making some modifications to that because I just put it on here the best way that we knew, because it's a new product, and that actually kind of is in my way when I want to use the pedal drive to stay where I'm at in position. Again, I didn't really fish out here today, but I was out on the water about 2.5 hours, and the wind was kicking pretty good, so I needed to use that Native X-Range pedal drive today, and I wasn't really able to do that much. So and here, what Tom and I chose to do was Garmin. You know, we sell these at Dugout, these pucks. So we ran from the GLS 10 box to here. So now I can disconnect, come back here. I've got a Sniper Marine pole. Now I'll be able to take this off, put it in my truck, away from prying eyes, and also so that it's not, you know, stationary to the kayak, exposed to the elements, getting beat and banged around and such like that. So for me, this is one of the best things I think a person can have if you are in the scoping game. Again, with Native, quality construction. This seat here is absolutely amazing. We're all married to kayak cushions and the Yak Attack cushion as well, but you really don't need it in this. But as I said today, you know, we're in the 25, 30 degree area, spitting snow. The wind comes through the meshing. You're going to love it in the summertime. In the wintertime, you're going to want to put something there to keep that breathability at bay. So that wind was really cold today. Seat, super great seat. Got the junk drawer that slides out underneath there. That thing is actually very handy to have when you're on the water. And again, these are just things that come standard with all Natives. You've got some through hole ports. So whenever we put the NK300 from Newport on here, we're actually going to come through here with the throttle wire. You're going to be able to disconnect it, take your throttle on and off, and put that in your containment to keep it out of the elements and stored. You know, you've got water, you've got rod holders here, paddle holders. Even though we're all motorized and have foot drives, I refuse to get on the water without a paddle. If you ever see that, then that means I've forgotten it. So obviously here's your rudder control. And as I come over, go ahead and slide this up, show you how we did in here. So again, this force current is either a 12 or a 24 volt motor. Again, quality components on these things here. That's your battery compartment. If you'll notice, it's bone dry. Took a lot of water in today. It poured down rain for a good long part of the day. And so I've got a 24 volt Pro Guide in here. We chose to rig it through here, bring the power back here, and hook it into, that's the Garmin force current, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. And so there's your battery box. You're going to be able to take this out, lift this plate up. This holds the Newport Low Pro batteries perfectly as well. And then so that's just pretty simple. Keeps everything dry. You've got the heaviest part of your rig, other than yourself, is right here underneath you, and you don't have to worry about it at all. And the thing about this plate is, if you chose to drill and bring your wires out and just have a dongle hanging out where you never had to open this, you can do that as well. And it's going to be underneath your seat, so you're not going to have to worry about breaking your connectors or stepping on anything like that. So don't want to drop that catch board and hit those terminals. So back here, you know, industry standard Yak Attack black pack. I've got a short stack on this one. I like it a lot. I don't like my batteries in my black pack and everything. Puts all that weight on the back end, makes it squat, you know, which is fine, but I just choose to be able to put tackle in here. Up here is typically extra, you know, little tools and stuff like that. And up here, I usually put scents, a marker, extra identifier cards for my catch board and my tournaments and settings and stuff like that. And so we got a paddle. Again, got a small little storage hatch. Got an extra NRS strap there that you're always going to need, it seems. There's another rigging port there. You can do whatever you wanted to. So whenever we get this Newport to test it out on this kayak as well, we'll most likely come out with a power source here or here, and then, you know, run things through there. But that's there if we need it for anything else. And getting into the Garmin force current, we got a lot of questions about it. I know that it's pricey, But I took it out today, trimmed it all the way down, and then trimmed it to where the water line is about here, no cavitation, and I was at 5 miles an hour in some chop and wind. So the thing was really, really good. I don't have the foot steering wired up or set up with it just yet. Again, it was just too cold today to do a lot of things with your hands, but that's just showing you how we rigged it and the fact that it's as riggable as you want it to be. You don't want to rig things to where they're overweighted. And the thing about this kayak is a 650 pound capacity. Arguably, I think that's quite, could be the largest on the market. And so you're not going to have to worry about over rigging this one whatsoever. Again, I kept it very simple. You do see electronics on here, but when it comes to everything else, it's as basic as you could get. We've got 2 batteries. One is a big one, the other one's a very small one, super lightweight. This kayak is very nimble, very quick, super responsive. It cut through water like nobody's business. So I was doing a top speed most of the day, headed into the wind. And if you'll see here, there's a lip. And what that did all day today was that water just jetted out that way. So I didn't take water into my cockpit at all. So far, I'm really happy with it. Again, the only thing I'm going to have to do is make a few modifications. So may not have the chance to do that this week. So probably in the next couple of days, I may leave the drive out and then just risk it with just my motor. I'll be fishing with some people, so if something happens, I'll be able to get a tow. But as always, I'll have my paddle with me. But that's where we're at right now. I've really, really enjoyed getting this thing out and scooting around. One of the funnest parts about kayaking to me is rigging things. But again, we kept it pretty simple. But when you get into what Native's got now, it just seems like they thought of everything they could do to be efficient. So if you just want to grab this, put it in the water, throw a crate in the back to hold a couple of rods and some tackle, you're going to be super happy doing that too. And one of the best things about it is it's a heavyweight capacity kayak without the heavy duty weight of it itself. You're going to be able to grab, lug, and tug this kayak around by yourself pretty easily.